You are exhausted, are you not, from fighting a relentless war inside your own mind every single night when the lights go out? That violent tightening in your chest is not your enemy. It is a desperate cry for help from a protector you have completely misunderstood. Before we uncover the hidden message behind your panic, take a slow breath and subscribe to the Psyche Unfolding, where we explore the quiet corners of your mind together. Picture an old, heavy wooden door deep inside your chest. You are leaning against it with all your weight, your shoes slipping on the floor, pushing back frantically against a terrifying, nameless force on the other side. Your muscles ache with a deep, vibrating fatigue. Your breath is shallow and sharp, and you are entirely terrified of what will happen if your strength finally gives out. That immense force pressing against the door is your anxiety. You feel it in the sudden shortness of breath that catches in your throat, the cold sweat that beads on the back of your neck, the relentless, echoing racing of your heart when you should be resting in perfect stillness. It feels exactly as though an intruder has broken into the sacred, quiet space of your mind. It wakes you up in the blind dark, throwing massive, distorted shadows against the walls of your bedroom, whispering terrible, paralyzing possibilities into your ear. It paints vivid, agonizing pictures of total failure, of unbearable loss, of utter abandonment. You spend your waking days wearing thick, heavy iron armor, walking through your normal life as if crossing a barren battlefield filled with hidden traps. Every passing shadow is registered as a mortal threat. Every sudden sound is a blaring alarm. Every ambiguous look from another human being is a confirmed betrayal. You are so unbelievably tired. I know precisely how heavy that exhaustion is. It is the deep, aching, bone-deep fatigue of someone who is never, ever allowed to put their guard down for even a fraction of a second. You have been told your entire life to fight it, to conquer it, to push it away as if it were a deadly disease. You swallow it down bitterly. You distract yourself frantically. You build thicker and thicker stone walls around your fragile heart. But the harder you push against that heavy wooden door, the more aggressively the invisible force pushes back. The air around you grows suffocatingly thin. You feel entirely isolated, trapped inside a tight glass jar where you can see the world, but no one can hear you scream. The world outside continues its normal, steady rhythm, but inside your ribs, a dark, stormy sea is raging, throwing you against jagged, unforgiving rocks over and over again without a drop of mercy. You sit in silence and wonder why your own mind has betrayed you so completely. You ask yourself why you cannot just be peaceful, why you cannot just be like everyone else who seems to walk so lightly and easily through the world. The pain of this internal war is sharp, absolute, and profoundly isolating. It drains the vibrant colour from your days and steals the restorative rest from your nights. You are carrying a heavy, jagged stone in your stomach, a constant, sickening reminder of impending doom that has no precise name and no distinct shape. But what if I told you that you have been looking at this agonizing struggle entirely backwards? What if we step away from the heavy wooden door for just a moment and bravely look through the keyhole to see what is actually on the other side? I want you to imagine a vast, ancient, impenetrable forest at twilight. In the exact center of this sprawling forest stands a lonely wooden watchtower reaching up into the thick, creeping fog. At the very top of this tower is a solitary guard. This guard has been awake for days, weeks, perhaps even years, staring out into the gathering darkness, eyes wide with absolute terror, ringing a heavy brass alarm bell over and over again until their hands bleed. That frantic, exhausted, weeping guard is your anxiety. It is not an intruder at all. It is your own internal protector, and it loves you fiercely, beyond all measure. It loves you so intensely that it is willing to completely destroy your daily peace, just to guarantee you stay alive. Anxiety is a powerful, primal survival mechanism that has simply forgotten how to turn itself off. It is an overzealous, fiercely loyal guard dog that barks aggressively at the blowing wind, at the shifting shadows, at the falling autumn leaves, because it is terrified that just one of those shadows might actually be a wolf coming to tear you apart. When you feel that sudden, sickening surge of panic, when your chest tightens like a vise and your thoughts race 100 kilometers an hour, that is your protector flooding your nervous system with raw energy, desperately preparing you to run away or to fight for your very life. The deep tragedy of this situation is that the danger is not actually real right now, but the protector does not know that. It operates purely on deep emotional memory and raw fear. It vividly remembers a time in your past when you were profoundly hurt, a time when you were completely vulnerable, a time when you were caught completely off guard and emotionally shattered. It made a solemn, silent vow in that dark moment never, ever to let that happen to you again. So it scans the horizon endlessly, obsessively looking for absolutely anything that even remotely resembles the shape of that past pain. You have been treating this frantic, loving guard like a mortal enemy. You have been yelling at it to shut up, trying to lock it away in the dark basement of your mind, hating it for ruining your life. But yelling at a terrified, trembling guard dog only makes it bark louder and more aggressively. It genuinely thinks you do not see the mortal danger approaching, so it believes it has to scream even louder to get your attention. It creates louder internal alarms, bigger and more painful physical symptoms, more terrifying and intrusive thoughts, all because it feels ignored, unappreciated, and desperately afraid for your ultimate safety. The moment of true, lasting transformation happens when you simply stop fighting the frantic guard. What happens if you slowly walk up the winding, creaking, wooden steps of that forest watchtower? What happens if you finally look at that exhausted, frantic, trembling part of yourself, not with hatred or frustration, but with deep, profound, overwhelming compassion? Imagine walking up to that shivering guard, placing a gentle, warm hand on its trembling shoulder, and saying in a soft, steady voice, "I see you. I know exactly how hard you are working to keep us safe. I know how tired you are, but we are absolutely okay right now, and you can finally step down." The very moment you truly acknowledge the loving, protective intention behind the terrifying panic, the heavy brass alarm bell stops ringing so loudly. The tight, painful tension in your jaw slowly begins to loosen. You realize that you do not ever have to conquer your anxiety. You just have to sit gently with it, the exact way you would sit with a frightened, sobbing child in the middle of a violent thunderstorm. You wrap a thick, warm blanket around its shoulders. You listen together to the heavy rain hitting the roof, and you softly remind it that the house is sturdy, that the foundations are deep, and that the walls will absolutely hold back the howling wind. As you begin to radically change your relationship with this feeling, shifting from a posture of endless war to a posture of deep understanding, the heavy iron armor you have been wearing starts to crack and fall away. Piece by heavy piece, the metal plates drop to the ground with a resounding thud. You realize with a gentle smile that you do not need to wear 50 kilograms of heavy iron just to go for a simple, quiet walk in the morning sun. The fresh, cool air begins to enter your lungs freely, expanding and filling hollow spaces inside your chest that have been tight, cramped, and closed off for a very, very long time. The dark, stormy sea inside your ribs slowly begins to settle, the massive, violent waves dissolving into a calm, gentle lake that perfectly reflects a soft, golden morning light. The thick, suffocating fog on the dark forest road finally lifts, blowing away to reveal a clear, sunlit path winding peacefully ahead of you. You start to feel a strange, wonderfully unfamiliar warmth spreading slowly through your limbs, all the way down to your fingertips and toes. It is the profoundly beautiful feeling of true, lasting safety. It is the quiet, earth-shattering realization that your mind is not a brutal battlefield meant for constant war, but a sacred sanctuary meant for profound peace. As you slowly walk this beautiful, sunlit path toward deep inner peace, I invite you to join our quiet, understanding community and subscribe to the Psyche Unfolding, so we can continue to gently explore these beautiful, hidden mysteries of the mind together. You are not broken, and you must hear me when I say that you never were. You were just fiercely, relentlessly protected by a part of you that desperately needed to be taught how to finally rest. Take a deep, slow, intentional breath with me right now in this exact moment. Count to 3 quietly in your mind. 1, 2, 3. Let the air out as slowly as you possibly can. Feel the hard, bitter tension draining rapidly from your shoulders, flowing like warm water down your arms and spilling out softly through your fingertips into the solid, supporting earth beneath you. The long, exhausting war is finally over. You can lay down your heavy weapons right here on the soft grass. The bright sun is breaking gently through the dark, lingering clouds, warming your face, and the world around you is completely, beautifully quiet. you can finally take that heavy, exhausting, stone-filled backpack off your aching shoulders and leave it forever by the side of the road. You are safe, you are whole, and you are finally free to walk lightly forward into the light.